Come on, Judy.
Elaine. I'm not going to do most of the talking because you know I'm a crier. And I already started crying when delivering the first award today on the Hill. So thankfully, Michael and Judy are going to start us off.
And you're going to cry anyway.
I'll just cry listening to them though, not try as I try to get the words out myself. We are all so grateful for everything that you do for us. So this is your award and contribution for your efforts to advance the city.
We wanted to say a few words too. We couldn't just let this go.
Now you're going to tell stories, aren't you?
I have a couple of things.
Should we sit down?
Is there a webinar? I was ready to be flexible, and it depends on how this is going over. I might just make it quick. But Elaine, you have spread the word about lymphedema and our bill, but you've done so much more. You have taught me 2 lessons. Many lessons, but here are 2 that I wanted to bring out. Tell me if you all can't hear. My voice is not very loud. Okay. One is tenacity. And I think you all know what I mean. Yeah. Should I even say? You just don't give up. And I can't possibly match your energy. Your low energy day equals my highest energy day. You work so hard, and you bring vibrancy to everything that you do. And I know that working with you, we've had a couple little disagreements about a couple things. Not many, but one is the use of fonts. Okay? And we've actually we've discussed these things. I'm going to get it out right now because this is kind of an important issue for me. And we had to have our discussions. But I want to say that what I've learned from you through this is that you use your fonts the way you use them because you care so much. And this all comes from love. And so I just want to know that you know that I recognize that, and that we all recognize that how much passion you give, and that those fonts are expressions of that. And so when we think about Elaine,
this is our graphic artist.
So when we think about how much you care, I want everybody now to visualize the word care.
Red.
In bold, italicized, with a red underline.
Yeah.
But I usually back them off afterwards.
Yeah.
Because you get to
Yeah.
We cut her down from like 10 fonts to maybe like...
I think it's been a group effort. Other people in the room have suggested 2 colors.
So, I know that, yes. So, you also, I'll just note that you fly the farthest, and you stay the longest, and you just put everything you have into this. And you are a senior citizen that is really on the real level, is like a 30-year-old energy level. And you are in it to win it. I also want to say that if you are, if I were to speaking to a congressperson out there, I would say that you need to think twice before you get on an elevator that is or an airplane. Because you're about to co-sponsor the Lymphedema, like committing on the spot. You might also get the eye down. I've never talked about the eye down, but this is something that I've noticed. MJ might know what I'm talking about. One day, and y'all also say this, I think you'll know what I mean. One day, we were in the coffee with Senator Daines, and there goes Elaine beelining for this tall senator, and I'm of course watching this, and I'm following her in this crowded room, and I get up there and I'm looking, and there's Elaine looking at Senator Daines eye to eye. She was giving him the
He's
eye.
taller than I am.
But from my point of view, it looked like it was pretty close. But I'm down here watching this, and she is looking at him, giving the eye down. I mean, she is right in the eyes, telling the co-sponsor, and I mean, this man backed down. She had him co-sponsoring. Now, he didn't actually really do it.
Not that day.
Not that day, but he did it.
We went back and we said, we're going to keep coming back till you say yes.
So, I mean, that is something that I witnessed, and it's like, my goodness. But I also want to say that when you did that, the whole time you were smiling. I mean, it was like it wasn't like a mean thing. I mean, this is coming from love and real passion. And I want to also say that to the same congressman, I would say, if you're also leaving the elevator and think you've got away with it, she will run you down. I've seen it happen.
This session.
I've seen it happen, and you just ask Senator Bennett from Colorado. She ran down the hall. I witnessed this. She claimed she wasn't running, but she was. She's going, and I'm strolling behind her, going, oh no, and then didn't know what was going on down there. I got down there. Sure enough, he's on, like he's going for it. And then next to him was standing there with Senator Coons eating popcorn out of a bag. He thinks he's just come to talk to his friend, his colleague, and now he's being cornered too. And he ends up co-sponsoring the same day. And I would call that collateral.
Yeah.
Collateral addition, collateral co-sponsoring, how about that? So that is part of the Elaine tenacity that we all know and love. And so there's just a little bit more, sorry. But in summary on the tenacity, you do that, and you do it with a smile. So tenacity with a smile is something that I really love and treasure about Elaine. The second thing, and the other thing I want to say is that the other important thing that I've learned is the importance of personal connection. There's a reason why we have 2 lead sponsors from Washington State, and it's because of your ability to connect with people, and you just aren't afraid to ask others to join you in projects with something that I like to the words I put with it are trust and joy. They trust you, and it's coming from a joyful place. And I know firsthand about this because really I've experienced, and maybe some of you have experienced this too, but you are the reason that I'm here. And your personal invitation brought me in. And I've kept that with me and have learned from you. And I try to bring that with me to my work here because I see the difference it makes. And thank you so much for all that you've taught us.
Judy and MJ and Becky have gone with me to the Montana Coffees, and they learned that the secret to everything I know and do is that I'm a Montanan. And we learn to speak the truth, and we learn to say it straight, and we try to make them laugh while we do it, and we don't back off. And with Senator Daines, I mean, we really did go back and say, we're back again. You said you talked to Brad last time and you didn't do it, and so we came back again, and we're going to keep coming back until you say yes. And he's laughing because we said it that way. And before the day is over, we keep going back. We keep working him, and he says, "Oh, we got the CBO score." And I said, "Never mind the CBO score. We expect you to be a common sense Montanan that can cut through the chaos and understand what really matters. You know this bill's not going to go as a standalone bill. You won't need that CBO score nearly so much. It's going to go in a package, or it's going to go straight to CMS, and Tom Price is going to help us with this." He says, "Oh, Tom Price is a friend of mine." We said, "Well then, if you really want to use your influence, you put your name on this bill and Tom Price will see it, and it'll make a difference with CMS." And this light bulb goes on in his eyes, and then he says to MJ, "Who's on the bill?" So we go back and we get the list and we bring it back to him. Would it make your day if I told you I was going to co-sponsor this bill today?
I think she also has a couple of Montana wrestling moves she uses.
Yeah, no, it's Montana. You walk in the room and you talk to him direct and you say what you mean. I said, those of you who are young here with me, we came here, Lynn and I came here 6.5 years ago in November of 2011 when you were really, really, really little. And we had a 17-year-old with us. And what we taught her was, Talia, you can say anything to anybody as long as you show respect, and it helps a lot if you can make them laugh. And we did that consistently through this trip. We would say things and we would make them laugh, but we would be the truth, and we'd, even if it seemed like a funny twist, then it was always true. Like when we said to Derek Kilmer, we don't expect you to be a tough sell. And then I said, we know something about you. We saw you interviewed. We know this about you. We know you're not jaded. We know that you think there's still hope for this system. We know that you're in the smallest office in the House and you don't care. You're just glad to have an office. So we think you'll understand this bill after you heard all these stories and that you'll want to co-sponsor it. And it was just, and I didn't even know I was going to say, we don't think you're tough stuff. I didn't know that was coming out of my mouth. But I did know that that was the message I wanted to deliver. And he just rolled it. He still remembers to this day that I said that. And at the end, he looked it over and said, you know, this is so easy. We should just do this and give Elaine back her life so that we can hear. So I want you to know that as long as you show respect to somebody, because you're showing them respect by saying, we know something about you, and these are the positive things we know. And we made them laugh, and we caught them a little bit by surprise, and it really worked. And it's the Montana way. So can't take the girl. You can take the girl out of Montana, but you can't take Montana out of the girl. Are you going to cry too?
I don't cry. My wife and daughters would probably like it that way. But. So I remember Elaine when she was new. And she didn't know everything about Congress, Lymphedema Treatment Act. I remember that era. You all don't. I remember when Elaine would ask you for advice.
I asked a lot of questions, I know.
Yeah.
So I know how the Congress, congressional office people feel.
Yeah.
I remember Elaine pinning me down and said, "Now, okay, we are going to figure this out. I've got a few questions for you.
2 hours later.
Figure this out."
Michael, how does this work?
Exactly. So, that's what I remember about Elaine. From the minute she became part of it, she wanted to know everything. She wanted to convince everybody. She wasn't interested in waiting. She wasn't interested in excuses. She wasn't interested in objections. So you make a heck of a salesperson. Pretty good closer, wouldn't you guys agree?
Show me the ropes.
And ever since then, I mean, you were just like a rocket. You just like took off. I mean, it very quickly became a matter of don't get in Elaine's way. No, the rest of us wanted to. You know, it used to be where we'd go in on meetings and we'd all talk. So we all had to split up, you understand. So we could still all talk. But it was a lot of fun going in on meetings with you and really watching you, again, very quickly ramp up and seeing your confidence. And it's no surprise that, again, the Senate lead and the House lead are true fans of yours and true fans of the bills. So I don't think anybody in here can realize, if those of you that are newer, exactly the level of influence Elaine has had, because it just starts with what she was able to do with that, but it's spread to every state and into the entire organization. So it's great that Heather's ego is such that she allowed someone else to come on board and help take over.
We brought something different, and we really work well together because we complement one another with our gifts, and that's been a great thing. And we both really were mad as heck that it didn't happen, that it wasn't there. We wanted to make it happen, and that's what drove us. And we have both had that same intention all along. So we've been great allies. And Michael, you've been very good at that, trying to answer all my questions all these years. I'm grateful to you for that. Anyway, for all of you, just remember that you go in and you ask for what you want. And you have to be really clear about what you want so that you can go and say, this is what we need from you today. We're coming here with this purpose, and this is what we want. And if you tell them that up front, then everything else you say fills in the background, and then at the end you can ask them to give that to you. It's just a very simple way. It's the Montana way, I think. I think that's where I got it. I'm not sure.
I just wanted to comment. I mean, it's really inspiring. And on a funny note, can we like hire you to come in on our meetings and? What's the going rate?
Well,
Bail
as Judy
money.
said, I would probably do it out of love.
If she could be in every meeting, she would.
I do eat this stuff for lunch, and I love people, and I love the feedback that I get. And as Philip said, I don't like to play. I like to play to win. I'm not here just for my health. I'm here to get something done that really matters to me. And I don't know if anybody saw the video that they did of me when they were trying to give me an award, and I had to be in D.C. instead of back in Washington. And I said, you know, I really should be doing other things. I've got metastatic cancer. I should be doing this, and I have other things that I should be doing. But it just still makes me mad that this isn't done, and so I'm going back to D.C. and see if we can just push this through, which kind of sums it all up. So there we go. Joy to work with all of you. You know, I will say that I have always said that this just makes me mad that it's taken so long and so much energy to do this. But my consolation has been that we've been building community around lymphedema, and we've been giving all of you the chance to find your voice, to speak up and advocate for yourselves. And that's my real consolation in how long it has taken to do it. So the fact that you are here matters greatly to me and gratifies me tremendously, because that's really what it's all about, making community and making voices heard for lymphedema. So thank you for your participation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If anyone else would like the floor to speak, you're welcome to. I know it's a hard act to follow.